Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to create this glowy and soft Valentine's Day makeup. So I already prepped my skin with skincare, as you can see, and if you're interested in that, I can make a separate video about that. Today's video is really going to be about the makeup. Skin is hydrated and plump, and usually I don't really wear foundation, but I thought for this occasion maybe I need a little bit of more coverage. That's what we're going for, you know, just to have that little filter effect going on. So therefore I'm going to use my favorite foundations, which are the Sephora the Fondant Perfection 10 Hours Oil Free in the color medium 25 and medium 24. I'm using half a pump of the color 23 and half a pump of the 24 and mixing these on the back of my hand. And I like to distribute the foundation first with my fingers so I can really place the product where I want the most coverage. And after that, I like to go over it with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush to give it an even coat. Because the brush can leave some streaks in the foundation, so always go over everything with a beauty sponge again. As you can see, I have super glowy skin now. As I mentioned before, it's a light to medium coverage foundation. You can still see my freckles underneath, but the foundation really evened out my skin tone. So that's what I really like about this foundation. Alright, moving on to the concealer, because I got dark eye bags. Also, I slept really bad yesterday. Therefore, I'm using this Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer from IT Cosmetics. I recently got this concealer in and it's already my favorite. Because it's so dewy, but it also gives a lot of coverage. Like, I've never had a concealer before that gives so much coverage. I'm blending this concealer out with this concealer brush from IT Cosmetics, as since it's a triangle shaped brush, you can really get into every corner and wing it out at the sides of your eye to create a lifting effect. Also, the concealer is quite stubborn, so you really need a brush to blend it out with. I told you it's super dewy. And also, where are my dark circles? But I like to go over it with a beauty sponge again, just to even everything out. Especially with this concealer, you have to make sure that you go over it with a sponge so there won't be any creases. I mean, look at this. Sadly, I'll be needing some extra coverage for my dark circles, so I'm using this concealer from Makeup Studio. I'm placing this concealer to the areas where it's most needed and blending it out with the 223 Contour Shader by Zoeva. And I'm really using a light hand to blend this all out, because if you do it too hard, you will move the product underneath. So now we've covered the under eyes. Now it's time to bring back some color in the face. For that, I'm going to use that Hourglass Hollywood Contour Wand in the color Fair Medium. And don't be afraid to put a lot of this product, because it will blend out to a soft, warm shade that won't be too noticeable. Also, it's not really a buildable product. Once you've blended it out and you go over it, it is going to move the product underneath and you will get smudges in your makeup. I look like an oil ball now. For blush, I'm using this one from IT Cosmetics. It's the Berry Smoothie Blush Stick. And I think this one was also from the Valentine's Day collection. A super cute pink blush. And it's very important to apply it with a brush instead of directly on the face. This way you don't move the product underneath and you have more precision. And as you can see, I am placing it everywhere. And for my nose contour, I'm using this contour stick from Nikki Beauty. It's a Dutch brand and it's in the color 26 Dark. And the packaging looks so pretty. I love that the tip is so sharp and thin, so it's very easy to draw my nose contour on. And I couldn't find my brush that I normally use to blend out my nose contour, but I like to use a small brush to blend it out so the contour really stays at its place. And the brush that I used was the 223 Petite Eye Blender from Zoeva. And also this time we go over it with a beauty blender. So now the base is done, go over your under eyes with the beauty blender again, just super lightly tapping everything in, and so the creases go away before you set everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is setting the under eyes with a pressed powder. I love to use a pressed powder because it really locks in the concealer. It gives a lot of coverage and this one is still lightweight. It's also very important to tap off any excess powder, otherwise it gets cakey under the eyes, and use a big firm brush for this. And that was, by the way, with this Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the color 006 Warm Beige. And then it's time for bronzer, and therefore I'm using this IT Cosmetics bronzer in the color Antigua. And I really like this bronzer because it also gives you a glow. Instead of making these swiping motions, I really like to tap the color in, especially because I'm wearing foundation now. If you do these swipe movements, your makeup is also really going to move around if you do that. So try to avoid the swiping motions and instead tap the color in. Now it's time to bake the under eyes. And I also rediscovered this loose powder that I had in my cabinet. It's a Locket from Kat Von D in the color Translucent. And the powder is just super fine. The loose powder will give me that extra coverage under my eyes that I need. Also really brightens up that area. I like to to apply the loose powder with a dry beauty blender, and I always tap the powder off on my hand first so I get an even layer under my eyes, and after applying I let it sit for a while. So now I'm quickly going to do my nose contour with this shade on the Kylie Cosmetics pressed powder palette with Candle. As you can see, my nose bridge is non-existent, so we really need to create one. And I'm also drawing on a button nose, and I'm doing that with a very thin lip pencil. And I usually do this with another brush, but I couldn't find that one. And I'm blending it out again with the 223 Petite Eye Blender from Zoeva. So it's time to swipe away the baking underneath the eyes. And I also feel like we need some blush again, so I'm going to reapply this one from Gaia Cosmetics, the same brush that I used before, and this is the 102 Silk Finish from Zoeva. Going in again because we want to look blushy as if someone just gave you a compliment. Going over now with a powder blush, also from Gaia Cosmetics, in the color Pink Lemonade, and also with the Gaia Cosmetics F03 brush. I love this blush since it's so subtle. I also purposely put some blush under my eyes, which makes me think of the pink Hula Beauty loose powder. And by the way, I totally forgot about my contour. Quickly going to apply that as well. You can apply it quite aggressively, it doesn't really matter. So we're taking that same translucent powder from Kat Von D, going to clean the mess. I really love this part, it's so satisfying. Moving on with the brows, I'm using this brow gel from the Dream Lash, and this is by far the best brow gel I've ever used. I let it sit for a while till it got a bit sticky, and now we can brush it up. And as you can see, it instantly gave me a facelift effect. And brushing everything upwards looked a bit crazy on me, so I like to brush it to the side again. And I, by the way, really need to laminate my brows again, because I can really tell that my brows are getting stubborn again. It's getting harder to brush them through, and they aren't really staying up that well anymore. Yeah, I'm going to fill in the gaps with this Brow Lift and Snatch from NYX, the color Ash Brown. I really love this pencil, and it's the only pencil that's thin enough to draw on hair strokes. So these are the brow at the moment. Oh my god, where's the tip of my highlight pen? This is so random. I also can't find my sharpener anymore, so I'm going to use my concealer to highlight my nose. And I also can't find the brush anymore that I usually use for my nose contour. We're just going in with this brush. It's a Zoeva 223 Petite Eye Blender. And we're just going to intensify the nose contour a bit. And also with the same contour brush, we're going to brush away the loose powder underneath, and we're still missing some shine. This is one of my favorite products, the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the color Opal. So look at the before. And look at the after. After the cream highlight, I go over it with my favorite powder highlight from Urban Decay. It's literally broken into pieces for the third time, but I always get complimented on this highlight. And this way your highlight is going to last the whole day. Not even the night, the whole day. Finally moving on to the eyes. So as a base, I'm going to use this matte liquid eyeshadow from Kylie Cosmetics in the color It's Her World. I'm wearing lash extensions, so I need to hold them down, otherwise there's product coming into it and it's going to be a mess. I know it's looking crazy, but trust the process. You can blend this out with your fingers or with a brush. I'm using the Gaia Cosmetics E09 brush for this. Can you see how subtle it actually is? So now we got the base for the eyes. Now we also want to darken up the crease. Therefore, I'm going to use this color. It's called Till the End from the Kylie Cosmetics pressed powder palette with Stassi. Wait, what are you guys going to do with Valentine's Day? Like, I literally still don't know what the plans are. My boyfriend literally planned this day like 2 months ahead. So yeah, I'm kind of excited what we're going to do. And then I'm going in with this orange color from the Tarte palette to blend it in with the purplish color I just applied. And this was also the moment that I realized that this was not the vibe that I wanted to go for, because I wanted a flirty pink look. So I went in with this mauve color to make it look a bit pinkish again, but someone tell me why it turned out to be so reddish. I actually have an event coming up and the dress code is pink and orange. I should save this eye look for that event, but anyways, I need to bring back that pink. Guys, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. There goes my plan. I'm going in with the pressed powder palette from Kylie and Stassi again, and I'm using the color Let's Match. It's a super cute matte baby pink color for my lid. And first I'm applying it with my finger so it gives more color, and then for more precision I'm using the same brush again that I used for my nose contour, and that was the lip brush from Dorothy Rufford Cosmetics in number 11. And then I'm using this dark brown to make a smoky wing. Of course, we also need to apply eyeshadows underneath, so I'm going to mix these two, and then you're going to blend it a little bit with a neutral color. I'm going to use this one. Also going in with Oh Dear again. For the inner corner highlight, I'm using this Gaia Cosmetics Disco Fever eyeshadow palette. The eyeshadow is so opaque, you can see how white and shimmery it is. I love it for my inner corners and some extra highlight for the nose. Just a little bit more on the nose as well. And then finally moving on to the lips. I'm using the Oak lip liner from MAC Cosmetics. And I'm putting some Pillow Talk in the middle. And then a light pink gloss over it. This one is from Nikki Beauty, the Plumping Lip Gloss in a color Peach. And of course, the makeup needs to stay the whole day or the whole evening. So therefore, I'm using this setting spray from Urban Decay. Let's take out the hair clips. So this is the final look. It's not the soft pink look anymore what we're going for, but more a flirty smoky eye, but still lovely for a night out with your partner. We've made it to the end of the video, and I hope this video gave you a bit of inspiration for your own makeup look. Of course, you can also remake this. Also, let me know what you guys are going to do with Valentine's Day. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.